Hi, my name is Square and I'm a photographer, and I will be switching from this camera to this camera because I've been struggling trying to make this video. This is maybe my fourth or my fifth attempt trying to get this sound and the video right. So don't be confused. Fuji GFX50s, my thoughts as a dance photographer or as a sports athlete, fitness, circus photographer, maybe, I don't know. We're going to talk about this incredible camera, but before we dive into this, let me say one thing. There is a lot of things to say about this camera, and I didn't want to make a 30 minutes video. Nobody wants that. No. So for those of you who want to know more about it, I gave a little bit more details on how I actually got the camera, why I had it for 2 weeks, what I actually did with it, all the images in HD, the settings, and blah, 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 all the good stuff. Good stuff. Are on my blog, so be sure to check that out. During 2 weeks, I had the GFX50s and 3 lenses. I decided to use this camera and these 3 lenses only for all the projects, all the jobs that I had during that time. This is maybe the best way to get to know a new system, to test a new camera, is to actually have it in your hands and use it in the real world. So quickly, some of the key features. It's a 51.4 megapixel sensor, a medium format or large format, you call it whatever you like. The sensor itself is 68% larger than the one on a full frame camera. 2 SD card slots. I know this is really important for a lot of you guys out there. Contrast detect AF only, a max burst rate of 3 FPS, a 3.2-inch tilting LCD screen. It weighs around 825 grams, and the lithium-ion battery can give you 400 shots. With this little diagram, you can actually compare the different sensors, their size. I do not own this picture. I took it from the internet. So the sensor is not as big as the one in the medium format Hasselblad H6D, for example, or the Phase 1 XF100, but I believe it shares the same sensor as the Pentax 645Z and the Hasselblad X1D. Because, you know, I'm a bit like you. I also read a lot of blogs, watch a lot of YouTube videos, but there's nothing beats the experiencing the real thing. We are all different. We aspire to different things. We have our own style, and for me, it kind of makes sense. So borrow it from a friend, go rent it if you can, or, you know, sometimes official dealers propose events where they showcase new gear. This is actually how I got my hands on the GFX50s and 50R earlier this year, and very recently, that's how I got my hands on the GFX100. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Here are some of the images that I created with the GFX50s, and still to the end because I share with you my thoughts on this camera.
T'arriveras à tout boire avant de monter par terre. Non. Ah. Merci.
So what did I like about this camera? First, the ease of use. Yeah, that's very important here. The ergonomics, how it feels in the hands, where the buttons are. But where the buttons are. The physical dials on top, that's something I really like. The quality of the overall build. Yes, it's a tab camera, and it feels like it when you first see it, and when you have it in your hands, you're like, okay, this brick, I'm not gonna break it. The hypersync, because yes, I can use it with my brown color Circus L flashes. And of course, the most important thing about this camera, it's a medium format camera or large format camera. I don't know how they call it these days. It's the images. And what did I didn't like about this camera? Well, I think this is something that I knew from the very beginning. It's the autofocus, the continuous autofocus, which on this camera is not performing that good. If you like IAF, you can forget about it. And yeah, it's definitely not a sports camera, so it's a bit slow. It focuses slower than a full frame camera. And you know, if you're a fan of burst modes, 3 FPS, this is not the camera for you. No. The last thing that could have been better too is the flash sync, which is limited if you're not using hypersync. It's limited at 1/125th of a second, which is unusual. Again, like I said earlier in this video, this is a quick conclusion, so if you want to know more about my experience with this camera, go check out the blog post. The link is in the description box below. Please go check it out. All the things that I missed in the GFX50s are in the GFX100 that is now, I think now it's shipping. So IBIS, in-body image stabilization, a better eye autofocus, phase detect and contrast autofocus. Yeah, a way better EVF, and of course the 102 megapixel count. So my final words would be, Fuji, if you're watching this, this camera is now 2 years old. So would I invest in the GFX50s today? It's a great camera, but I guess I'll be waiting for the GFX50s Mark II, if it ever comes out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and press that notification, you know, that button thing if you don't want to miss my future videos. Follow me on Instagram if you want to know what I'm currently working on. Yeah, like right now. And of course, I will see you all in the next one. But until then, please have a good one.